superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
Here we go, car starts up, we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Back to the Goat Locker Racing Alexander PC's ARCA West Series, where tonight we're getting ready to roll for 80 laps around Dover. I'm Sky Shrek. I'm joined up in the booth tonight by our producer and co-commentator Bradley Cooper. Bradley, what are these drivers going to need to do to win here?
Survive, stay off the turn 2 wall, and just take this track 1 lap at a time. The Monster Mile is known for gobbling up race cars, and Miles, the Monster, is very hungry. He's going to find quite a few of these ARCA cars in the outside wall.
Yeah, we're going to get right into our starting lineups here because cars are already getting ready to go off the grid tonight. So we can tell you that your pole sitter for tonight's race is the 85 car of Jake Ham. Jake Ham will win the Jam Printing and Promotions Pole Award. Since forming in 2013, Jam has contributed printing and promotional sponsorships to more than 60 local nonprofits, with a primary focus on organizations that assist veterans, women, and children. They have been with Goat Locker Racing since the very beginning. They're local and veteran certified, and when they do well, they do good in the community. So thank you to Jam Printing and Promotions for sponsoring the Pole Award tonight, and Jake Ham will be your winner of that Pole Award. Peyton Hubbard will go from second tonight in the 018 car. Row 2 will be the 27 of Jake Ellingson next to the 092 of Brennan McDonald. Trevor Dyer goes from 5th tonight in the 64 next to Mark Whitley in the 74. Then Sean Kaiser in the 46, Nicholas Myers in the 469, Bobby Bender in the 69 car, and the last car in your top 10 will be Joshua Thornton in the 25.
11th spot going to David Calvert. Brock M. Price will start in 12th. Row number 7 with Ashton Asario Nolan. Reed Smith will start 14th. 15th, the Noah Hogarth. Paul Shaw starting 16th spot. Then you go to Dave Calvert Sr. for the 90 in 17th. J.R. Schomburg will start in 18th. And the top 20 with Skylar Daly. Chris Marquezzi in the 441.
Starting back from there, it'll be Thaddeus Friel Jr. in the 08 car, Brandon Wallace in the 99, Gene Wolfe in the 642, Chuck Phelps in the 75, Daniel Parks in the 71. And then the rest of your field will be Vernon Liebenthal in the 033, Kevin Price in the 80, Nick Trussell in the 022, Tyler Clemis in 311 and Alan Bergen in the 89. Last car taking time is the 03 of Brian Frauheiger. Armando Melgoza, Hayden Meir, and Josh Unger will be the last 3 cars on your grid today. None of them took qualifying times. So we get ready to go for 80 laps around Dover. Always a very tricky racetrack, and I think you'll see that over the course of today. Track temp up at 111 degrees. It is going to be a scorcher out here. It's Jake Ham, it's Peyton Hubbard up on the front row. Jake Ham will come around turn 4. He'll slide down into the extreme scoring restart zone, and we're green at Dover. Your leader as they head back down into turn 3. He's got Peyton Hubbard, Jake Ellingson right behind him, and then you've got Dyer and Brendan McConnell going side by side. Mark Whitley's going to look for the triple back here. Whitley has to back out, not able to force that car up to 4th, and Trevor Dyer will continue to hold in that 4th spot. He'll get the clear over the 092 of Brendan McDonald, and now it's going to be Mark Whitley trying to bounce once again back down to the inside. That 74 car, winner last night in the Grand National Series, has a lot of speed in it, and as McDonald scrapes the wall back there, Whitley's going to have the advantage down into turn 1.
Already feeding Miles the Monster on lap 3 coming off of turn 4. It's kind of symmetrical. That turn 4 exit, not as bad as the turn 2 exit. That's the worst part of this racetrack. But, you know, you see the front stretch, the back stretch, there's nowhere to go. So if you have an incident like we just had, it's going to be a track blocker in the back.
Huge hit back there for quite a few cars, and you can see the track is fully blocked. They're still driving into it in the background. That is going to take out a lot of cars, and that is going to cause an early use of a lot of faster pairs here in tonight's race. That was Brennan McDonald in the 092, the first car to go around after looked like some contact with the 46 car of Sean Kaiser. And it all spiraled from there.
Touch on the inside, a hard hit to the outside wall. And then Sean just gets destroyed by everything along the way.
Not really anything he could have done there because he was hit by that sliding car of McDonald, and it sent him back up the racetrack into those cars who were trying to dodge. Nowhere for any of them to go.
Hit. 25 left the ground. There's the 41. Calvert, the 441 maybe? Chris Bargetzi.
There were quite a few cars that had some major damage as a result of that accident. Not surprised if Bargetzi ended up taking a pretty big hit there in that 441. We'll check on board with him and see what happened there behind the wheel of that car. He comes onto the straightaway. He's already loose.
Brakes.
Yeah.
No brakes.
Gonna need some more of those.
Yeah.
One could say. He was on the brakes. He just didn't get on them nearly quick enough, and when he did get on him, the car immediately got very loose on him. So I don't know what the issue was. I don't know if he was running a brake bias of very low, but clearly was not planning for a sudden stop with how that car was driving.
So already, I was just about to mention that this racetrack, and right on cue, how difficult it is if there's an incident out of turn 2 or out of turn 4, because it blocks the entire straightaway. You can only go about 3-4 cars wide down that front stretch because of the pit wall, and if there's a car turned sideways, they're going to get hit. It's very rare that we see somebody slide towards that outside and come back down the racetrack and avoid getting clipped at least. So you're going to see that a lot tonight, and you see all the modifieds that we have out here with no front end. That's the reason for it.
Yeah, and while we're under caution here, we'd like to thank one of our partners at Goat Locker Racing that helps put this series on. That is Alexander PCs. Alexander PCs is a custom and gaming PC builder who have been building and modding systems since 2002. They are a veteran-owned and operated family business, and all of the team members, support, and production are U.S.-based. All desktop PCs come with an industry best lifetime limited warranty and service guarantee. Work, play, conquer with Alexander PCs, the title sponsor of the Alexander PCs ARCA series. And thank you to their support of Goat Locker Racing. We will update you on ARCA East tonight. We're unable to have a broadcast for that one tonight due to some issues going on, some personal matters occurring, but we will update you on ARCA East when we can. I'll tell you, lap 12 of that race right now, Joseph McWhorter is the leader over in ARCA East. He's got the lead of that one over Austin McColgan and Jeremiah Holt, who sit second and third in ARCA East at the moment. As we get ready to get back rolling here in ARCA West, as we get back underway, it'll be Jake Ham and Peyton Hubbard still up on this front row, with Jake Ellingson and Trevor Dyer running back there in third and fourth. Jake Ham, Peyton Hubbard on the front row. Hit the extreme scoring restart zone, and we are green at Dover.
Jake Ham there last week that had a lot of potential, but ultimately you find Mark Whitley back at the front towards the tail end of that race. Get through all of these cycles. I think right now we need this race to go green for Whitley to have a chance, because it's difficult to pass here today.
That is true. Whitley there in that 74 car. He's going to need to work his way up through the field. He's always a very fast car, always a contender for the win in this series, but he's going to need some green laps here, because Dover is not exactly a track where it's particularly easy to get a move done here at all, as he continues to work behind Trevor Dyer. We saw him willing to show a little bit of aggression early, had that fake 3 wide where it looked like he wanted to push the issue. Now, though, he is still sitting back in P5, still lurking, still looking to get something done. Trevor Dyer tried to get something done there for just a moment, had to back out because he nearly ended up sending Jake Ellingson around, and that'll slow Whitley all the way up as he's stuck behind that 64 car.
Top 5 all-pro class drivers, David Calvert, your 6th
Oh,
place
we're wrecking in the
driver.
back.
Chuck
Caution's
Phelps
gonna
around.
fly. Ashton Asaro Nolan. Oof. Ashton Asaro Nolan taking a couple big hits there, and you said it, track blocking accidents can happen. He's gonna get just huge into the wall off the corner. They were kind of 3 wide. Asaro Nolan got very high, came back down, basically killed the 80 car of Kevin Price, and then bounced back up the road and just got T-boned there by Chuck Phelps.
And that was a move to the outside, maybe not voluntary. Car probably got tight. He had that
Whoa.
damaged car of Joshua Thornton, I believe it was in the 25. But watch the onboard here. Car's going to push up the racetrack more and more and more. He's already had it here in the exit of 2, but watch the exit of 4. It goes way wide.
Just looking, tries to get that 3 wide move done there on Joshua Thornton, and it's just not happening. Puts that car into the wall. He goes around, and there you go. A couple big hits being taken. Brock Price tried to dodge it. He couldn't. And Brock Price is going to leave the session. He is your first car done for the night.
Track blocking incidents. Turn 4 and turn 2 wall that love to eat the right front off these cars. Different talent pools. You've got David Calvert with the lead in the M class, Jake Ham in the pro class. Then you have Schomburg in there in 7th position. At one point, I think the entire top 9 was all pro class drivers until the incident there with Sean Kaiser that went sideways. So mixing it up here.
We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and we will come right back here with the restart on V-Speed.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We are back here on Goat Locker Racing as we take in the Alexander PC's ARCA Series. Jake Ham still leading this race, so we've had a tight one all the way through. Peyton Hubbard is continuing to hound that 85 car back behind Jake Ham. It's Jake Ellingson, Trevor Dyer working for P3. Trevor Dyer into the wall hard. He will slip back from P4 all the way to P6. Mark Whitley finally gets the spot on that car. And now Dyer will have to go side by side with the leader of the AM class, David Calvert, back there in the 41.
We'll get back real quick on the replay here and watch this move. 64 got to the outside of Ellingson, and this is where it goes wrong. Into the wall.
Just gets into the wall up there on that top side, and he's going to lose multiple positions as a result. Did end up staying ahead of Calvert there, so he's still 5th in pro and 5th on the racetrack, but it's going to be a long climb back up for him, even just to gain those 2 spots that he lost because of how difficult it has been to pass today. Peyton Hubbard's been trying to set up a move up front here all race long. Can't do it. A little bit deeper in the field here. You've got the 71 of Daniel Parks running back there in P17. He's got Wesley Shaw right behind him in a battle going on in front of him as Alan Bergen is side by side with Kaiser. Kaiser goes all the way down the racetrack as Bergen gets a little bit loose. And the caution will fly deeper in the field. Well, you got Vernon Liebenthal around on the back straightaway. This is, he definitely had some help.
Here, 84, there's 25 with a new nose piece on the front of that, and he's going to use it. Single car spin. This happened pretty close to the back of the field, so hopefully nobody else gets into the 033. But if we watch this from another angle, I think the 25 does come up here.
Let's see, 25 car, that is Joshua Thornton there. And then that's Vernon Liebenthal down on the inside of the racetrack. And yeah, Thornton's just kind of going to come up the road there and tag that 033 car. Major damage to the inside wall for him.
I think there was a little bit of room to the outside of the 033, but it's the 25's job really just kind of keep off that left rear. You know, sometimes it can be frustrating. Some drivers are a little timid to go out in that turn 2 exit too close to the wall because the right rear will kick out. Sometimes it'll grab the wall, and it's a little flatter the lower you are on the exit, so it's a little more forgiving. Just got to be mindful of that, especially later in the run. Guys are going to move down the racetrack to try to keep the back end of this car straight.
You're going to see a couple cars into the pits here. A lot of cars who were involved in that accident. And a couple cars coming down for 4 tires and fuel. Jake Ellingson, Mark Whitley, Trevor Dyer, Noah Hogard, Skylar Daly among the drivers who have come down and opted to put new tires on that car. You get 4 tire sets for the race, and including the one you start on, so 3 tire changes. It's also only 65% fuel tonight as well, so going to be quite a few pit stops over our 80 laps.
Yeah, with 3 tire sets behind the wall. I think this is the point everybody should probably come down. Sitting on lap 20, really not had a green flag run. The fall off on these concrete surfaces, we know how they are. Sky chews them up. It just eats the tires up. I think I would come down, especially if I'm struggling, 10th place back. I would have came down and at least got 4 tires out of this.
Yeah, we'll see how it works. Those cars are going to be buried pretty deep in the field here. Ellingson is 15th, Whitley 16th at the moment, as we are getting ready to get back rolling here in just a little bit. We're going to have a lot of cars in front of him. You got Sean Kaiser, Brandon Wallace, Daniel Parks, a couple cars who came down after being involved in that lap 1 incident and had to take a fast repair on that car. And you've got a couple other drivers out here like J.R. Schomburg, David Calvert, who are just sticking it out on the racetrack. Gene Wolfe as well. Haven't pit yet. Those cars are just going to see what they can do as we get ready to roll back green here. Same front row we've had all race. J-Cam, Peyton Hubbard. Some pit stops won't change that as these drivers make their way through turns 3 and 4. And we hit the extreme scoring restart zone. It's another great jump for J-Cam up in front of the field. Him off to a good run here as we're side by side a little bit further back. You've got that car of Gene Wolfe, who stayed out, still on the tires he started the race with. He's working side by side with Sean Kaiser right now. That's for the 6th position. Gene Wolfe, AM driver, new driver to the Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series. Oh, Mark Whitley is around in the background. And we're not going to have a caution yet, but he is still sideways in the middle of the racetrack, and now it will fly. So we're still wrecking, trying to avoid him. So Skylar Daly, he was caught up with there on the outside wall. Didn't start with Skylar Daly. He was just kind of a victim back there.
Whitley had come down pit road and got 4 fresh tires on that caution. And he was 3 wide, had the 64 on the inside. Trevor Dyer and pinned in the middle, just not a lot of room. You can go 3 wide here, but the exit, I don't think is the place for him.
He kind of had a hip check there from Frauheiger, and I'm going to say it because I have the replay pulled up on my end. A little bit of a net code hip check here from Brian Frauheiger as Frauheiger moves up the racetrack on exit. And yeah, doesn't really make contact with Mark Whitley there. A little bit of unfortunate net code, turning that 74 car around.
This is the hip check you're mentioning, but I think
it's close.
I think
it's very close, but
touch either way. Just the contact looked early. I think he's going to bounce doors, but I don't think it should have sent Whitley as hard as it did to the outside wall. And again, right here, you're watching this. Whitley's on the throttle, and so that's the difference right there. You see those back tires turning. He's trying to keep this car from rolling down. This is a self-cleaning racetrack. The front stretch is banked. So he's trying to keep it up there. And then as soon as he loses that momentum, he locks the brakes up right here. Now, it's a little delayed, but you see in the background, all of those cars are a potential dart to hit the side of this thing.
Yeah. I think Whitley ultimately got away pretty lucky there. I wonder if he's going to use the fast repair on this caution now that he's coming down. He's not going to take tires. It'd be a waste of a set of tires. Let's see.
Looks like he's going to repair the damage.
Yeah, he's going to sit there. He's going to repair that damage manually. We'll see how much he can buff out before he's able to get back out on the racetrack. We're going to thank another one of our partners here at Goat Locker Racing while we sit under this yellow flag. That is Above the Yellow Line. Above the Yellow Line is a podcast and really a general media platform. There's a lot of work with Goat Locker Racing. They run some podcasts for us, and they've been a pretty large partner of Goat Locker Racing since the beginning. So thank you to Above the Yellow Line Media. I will say I am in a TikTok creator Discord server with some TikTok staff members, and they specifically mentioned Above the Yellow Line as an example of good content to make on TikTok. So TikTok approved. Do it that way you will.
There's a format. There's a formula. how you want to do it, and they definitely know their stuff.
And yeah, impressing the TikTok staff themselves with their content over there.
A lot of media too. TikTok very popular, and YouTube Shorts, of course. Everybody basing TikTok's formula. Notice that, Sky? How suddenly we had Reels and Shorts, and TikTok was first.
I'll tell you what. I blow up on TikTok. It's great. My videos get a ton of views. Just had one to 100K. Post that same video to YouTube Shorts, it gets like 400. And I'm like, well, crap.
Yep.
Get like 20,000 likes on TikTok. I'm like, this is amazing. I posted on YouTube, 4 total likes.
I can barely say the word algorithm. I can't understand how it works.
Yeah, they hate me over at YouTube is the conclusion I've come to. They don't hate Jake Ham, though. He's up here still leading this race next to Peyton Hubbard in the 018 car. J.R. Schomburg and David Calbert there on that second row, as Calbert already giving a push to Jake Ham through the extreme scoring restart zone, and we are back green on lap 26.
Peyton Hubbard's been getting close on these restarts. If he could just time one perfect, he could get to the inside or maybe the outside of turn 2. Just hasn't had the opportunity. Get the momentum built up here for lap 1 on the restart. Maybe get the run off before and take it into turn 1 and into the wall.
Ooh, that was close there for that 18 car of Hubbard, barely holding on to that thing, as the AM driver right behind him of David Calbert does a really good job to apply pressure. Calbert has been hanging out back there in this top 5 for much of this race, so despite being in the AM class, he's clearly got a lot of talent behind the wheel of that car, and he's clearly driving it pretty well, as he has really given a handful to some of these cars up at the front of the field. Still waiting on the pit stop for him, as we are with much of the drivers up in your top 5-10 cars, but he's been running really well. As Hubbard is finally going to get that move done, he's going to take a look down to the inside here, and Jake Ham slams the door down into turn 3.
Fresh tires here for the 46, watching him move on through the field. Nice car running with 4 fresh ones. 24 laps on this stint. He took tires pretty early, and that was the damage on lap 1. We have a caution back out. Hayden Muir is sideways in 1. Actually 4.
Problems there for Hayden Muir in that 84 car, and we will get another look at that one very quickly for you. Oh, wow, that is nasty. That's not a good place to hit at all.
Nasty's Bar and Grill sponsoring the pit barrels here.
He was trying to avoid the spinning Brian Frauheiger car in front of him. Brian Frauheiger was cleaned out by Nick Trussell, and he was trying to dodge that car. And Hayden Muir just couldn't. Yeah, there's Nick Trussell with the dive bomb, is what I'll say. Yeah. By the way, as of lap 32, it is still Joseph McWhorter in the lead. Over in that ARCA East race, Jamie Barkas, Michael Alexic running not too far behind him. Keeping you updated on that.
Well, it's still Jake Ham leading here, so I think more of the same. Maybe over there in the ARCA East. A lot of cautions.
Yep. Well, they were on lap 32. I received that update, I will be honest with you, 7 minutes ago. So
okay.
they're at least 7 minutes in front of us. Yeah. Yeah. We out here, though.
We are. And I tell you, we were looking at the points, and I was trying to get everything corrected, but we've got multiple different winners in our AM class versus the pro class has kind of been one-sided. It's got one driver, but he's having a bad time tonight. There's a lot of potential here. So Jake Ham could find his way to victory lane. You could have Schomburg. You could have Sean Kaser get up here. He's on fresher tires than these guys in the top 3. I like where Dave Calbert is. I mean, we haven't seen it outside of Lime Rock, I think, was the only place where we had an AM class driver win the race outright. So I like where Dave Calvert is. He's shown a lot of speed.
I've gotten a brand new ARCA East update there on lap 48. Joseph McWhorter still in first. Jamie Barkas still in second. Your AM leader is Alan Smith, currently running in third overall in that race. While we're under caution, we can thank another one of our Goat Locker racing partners. That is Glove Station. At Glove Station, they are committed to providing quality gloves and protective gear for a wide range of your daily activities and jobs, from tinkering on home DIYs to working in industrial environments and everything in between. Glove Station has got you covered. With the endless amounts of safety products on the market, they want to make it effortless for you to find the right protection for your needs. Thank you, Glove Station, for your support of Goat Locker Racing. Bradley, I feel like I cut you off back there.
You're all right. You're all right. I was just about to say we don't get very many opportunities. We're right around the halfway mark, and I know that I get pretty excited when we get to turn up the volume. What do you say for this restart? We go a couple laps around Dover and hear the sights and sounds of these ARCA cars thunder around the Monster Mile. Just
I'm in.
crank it up.
I like the idea. Let's do it.
So turn up the hearing aids, wherever the kids hit the remote control, wherever that is. Let's crank it up here on V speed for a couple laps in Delaware. Leader as we turn up the volume there for a couple laps, and we've kind of settled out a little bit. Top five have split away from the rest of this field. Dyer to the outside of Sean Kaser, even with those fresher tires. Actually, Dyer has even fresher ones. So in the outside wall, that's not what you want.
Not at all. Some of those cars on new tires, like you said, are flying their way up through the field right now, and it's creating a bit of a traffic jam as cars try to find their way through. And there you go, Sean Kaiser right into the wall there in the 46 car. That was nearly a very scary moment for everybody. Oh, wait, excuse me. My iRacing is a minute delayed, and I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sean Kaiser was in the wall, and he's in the wall again. Look at that. Beautiful. Trevor Dyer's now going to make the move up the inside of Brendan McDonald here in the 092 car. He will take P4, and he will look at J.R. Schomber in the 113, currently running in third. He'll make quick work of that car. It's right up the inside for Trevor Dyer.
Feel like a superhero when you have a 16 to 17 lap difference. That's actually 20 laps down to the cars he's racing side by side with. He'll go up and try to challenge. The 113, though, fantastic job on the outside to hold him up. That puts the gap around a full second to second place Calvert.
Well, there are some drivers deeper in the field that are trying to run through too. Mark Whitley in 11th is on 7-lap old tires. He's trying to find his way back up through the field. Got Kevin Price, Daniel Parks, Thaddeus Friel battling up in front of him right now. Friel, another driver who has been finding his way through the pack, but the caution will fly. We got somebody around there in turn 3. It's in a cloud of smoke. That is Paul Shaw in the 025. He is going to make some contact off the corner here with the 642 of Jake Wolf, and this is just going to be two cars coming together right on the exit, and yeah, there he goes. Paul Shaw and Gene Wolf, two people with less letters in their name than Brendan McDonald.
Who are those two cars that come through there on the front stretch? I don't even think they lifted off the throttle there. There's the touch. It's so light, but it's enough to turn the 025 around. And watch this. Man.
Sorry, I'm just trying to do the math to see if anyone else in the field has an equal letter of numbers in their name to both, or equal number of letters, excuse me, in their name to both Gene Wolfe and Paul Shaw. I think we've got Ashton Acero Nolan sitting on 17 characters. Ooh. I bring the facts.
Does that fit on my... Yeah, it does. I was curious if that would fit across there, but yeah, it does. And
It's a little squished, but, you know, makes it work.
I've had some names, though, and we were doing the SF-23. There were some names that I couldn't even pronounce. That a lot of people from Brazil in that series. And
yeah.
A lot of syllables.
A lot of cars pitting here under this caution. Looks like got Mark Whitley, Peyton Hubbard, Joshua Thornton, Brandon Wallace staying out. All those cars who pit just 10 laps to go. But it's going to be field day for pretty much everybody else on pit road. A lot of those cars coming down, and going to make some changes here to their tires and get back out on lap 42. I'll tell you what, I commentated an Enduro not too long ago at 2 a.m. Central Time, so all the European drivers were in the car. I was having a not great time. I am a uncultured American, and there were a lot of people with Finnish names, a lot of people from Slovakia with some of those names, and I apologize to them.
Yeah, it's always the Russian names for me that are hard to pronounce.
I was putting those into Google and being like, how to pronounce, and then listening to the AI voice on YouTube with like 1 view. And if that wasn't right, well, I tried.
At least you tried to type it into Google. I just yell it out. It comes out as gibberish.
Yeah. I make an effort. We'll get back going here momentarily. Lights on the pace car have gone off on lap 43 out of 80 in this one here in the Goat Locker Racing Alexander PC's ARCA West Series. And it'll be back to that front row that we saw for much of the start of this race. Or actually, I guess not, because you got Peyton Hubbard still up there on the front row. I'm so used to calling Mark Whitley in the lead. I did it last night where he was absolutely dominating, led 96 laps at Rockingham in the Grand National. But it's not, he wasn't the one on the front row for much of this race. That was Jake Ham. He's buried back in 7th after that pit stop. And it'll be Mark Whitley on slightly older tires, looking to hold that position. 10-lap older tires for your top 5 cars, and then you've got Alan Bergen on 23-lap old tires. Everybody else just came down. As the pace car pulls in, we hit the extreme scoring restart zone, and it's Whitley and it's Hubbard up on the front row as we're back green at Dover. Really get an advantage down there if you're Mark Whitley, because that restart zone is so banked, you can really, it's almost like a dirt track run off the corner because you're able to just get it down low and get that shorter distance on exit.
My side, M-Class leader Joshua Thornton trying to get around Peyton Hubbard. On the same tires here in the top 4.
Caution's out.
Maybe Malgoza?
We'll see. In the 78 car. Oh, yep, he's had some kind of problem there.
He's having a restart.
Oh, he's gonna get run over by Skylar Daly. He was I'm not sure what the issue was. He was very, very slow down into the corner, and it's like he hit the brakes mid-corner. Maybe a technical issue there. I could not tell you what happened about this.
Yeah, it sounds like the throttle pedal wasn't fully working there. It was only running 3,500 RPMs on that restart. Maybe stuck in gear. Something went wrong here for the 78. Already had some damage on the front end of the car, and it might be under power.
By the way, update on the ARCA East race at lap 64. It is Joseph McWhorter out in the lead of that one in the pro class. The AM lead currently going to Samuel Yosef, having a good run over there. 20 laps further ahead than us. Dang.
Sky, I think it would be really interesting if they took the East and West top 5 from each class.
I'd be down with that, honestly.
And just throw them out there for Vegas.
Ooh.
What do you think of that? I'm going to have to talk to somebody about that.
Is that not how they do it?
I don't think so. I don't know.
I know last year they gave us the world's largest playoff bracket. We had like 32 cars in the playoffs or something ridiculous. Because it was just the top X amount of cars from each division. So it was like the round of 8, but that was 8 cars from ARCA West and 8 from ARCA East and 8 from Pro and 8 from AM. So you ended up with a 32 car playoff. Wild stuff was going down, let me tell you.
All in one race, so they put them together. They did that
Yes,
last year.
yes.
Okay. Well then, like mines. I like mines. I love it. I'm excited if that's the format. Sorry if I, maybe showed my inexperience here at Goat Locker, but this is the first time I've had a full season with them. I've filled in a couple times. I've known of the format. And impressive last season, Eddie Smith running this entire thing through one broadcast. Incredible.
No, yeah. I was the commentator. I was play-by-play for that. I was like, how is he doing this? We had 1 or 2 races during the year where like we had to do a split screen because I was absolutely losing my mind over ARCA East. I think it might have been in Vegas. Maybe the best race I've ever seen, and I kept begging Eddie, like, no, keep this on because this is nuts.
Too much going on. It's a lot to process, and I mean, I get called an alien because I produce and talk at the same time, but what Eddie was doing, jeez.
Yeah, no, he was insane for doing that. Those broadcasts were kind of fun though, because we had like a 15-minute delay, so if I was on the broadcast I was going second, I'd just be watching the first one there and eating some pizza. Wait until it was my turn to go on. It's gonna be Mark Whitley's turn to try and get away here on lap 48 when we go back green. Mark Whitley, Peyton Hubbard, still the top 2 cars in this race on yet another restart as we hit the extreme scoring restart zone, and we are back to green at Dover. Whitley immediately back up the track there in that 74 car as Thornton and Hubbard make it side by side behind for P2. You've got Jake Ham driving his way back up through the field on those new tires. He's side by side with Brandon Wallace right now for P5. Peyton Hubbard clears Joshua Thornton for second.
Thornton still leading the AMP class. Has a little bit of a push into David Calvert. Calvert on fresher tires by about 10 laps and probably about 6 or 7 of those under green. Calvert's working through the field.
Yes, Jake Ham's also trying to work his way through the field back here. He'll now get clear for P4 around Brandon Wallace in the 99 car. Jake Ham's got some good tires on that thing, and he is moving his way back up through the field. Having that extra heat cycle on there probably not gonna help, but he'll do what he can to chase down these 3 cars on 10-lap older tires up in front of him. David Calvert now doing battle with Brandon Wallace. Calvert, another driver on new tires. Wallace, one of the cars who has stayed out. The restart was under review there, by the way. They reviewed it. No action has been taken, so it was a clean restart for everybody involved. As this is kind of becoming a log jam here behind Calvert and Wallace. 311 car up in the wall. As
Clemens taking that notorious line there.
They're getting into it back there. We're side by side for 5th. David Calvert's going to get that spot, and then we're side by side back for 7th as well, where you've got J.R. Schomburg on the outside of Trevor Dyer for that 7th position, and the caution flies. Whoa, Nick Trussell's upside down.
What? The 022 is flying in the air.
Yep, that was very much after the initial accident, I will say. So we'll get a replay of this. Somebody in chat is very upset at Skylar Daly. I don't know if this accident is particularly his fault. We'll watch it again. As you're going to see Nick Trussell come in, and whoa, he's going to get up. He's going to get airborne. There you go. Skylar Daly is going to have Ryan Frauheiger here is just going to kind of bounce it off the wall up in front of him, and he's going to lose a lot of speed when he does bounce it off the wall. Daly, car inside of him, not really anywhere to go. He's going to run into the back of that one. It'll be race ending for both cars. I know they've both been involved in incidents today. And then you're going to see that'll stack up, and here is Nick Trussell dropping the hammer over the top of Thaddeus Friel. I think that might be the end of all three of those cars. Yeah, I think they've all used fast repairs. Not a great day for them. Kind of a Philadelphia Flyers type of day. They're losing 6-1 right now to the worst team in the East.
Just want to see this car go airborne in slow motion.
Let's get it.
Happen?
That is an iRacing physics moment if I've ever seen one. That looks left over from NR 2003. That's incredible. Yeah. It's like you ever ran the B-Man G map where it has like a really small ramp and you can kind of launch half the car on the ramp and half the car not on the ramp, and it'll start doing like a barrel roll through the air. That's how that looked. Where like half the car was on a ramp and the other half wasn't.
I think that's Miles the Monster. Punching through the concrete.
Yeah.
All that comes to mind for me is, maybe I'm showing my age, but Fast and the Furious launch charger.
Can I confess? I've never seen that.
Wow. Well, you should. You should try it out. It's a pretty good one. Pretty popular.
The first Fast and Furious
had 9 sequels. You should maybe check it out. The first one's the best, in my opinion.
The Fast and the Furious. I've got bad news for you. That movie came out 4 years before I was born.
Well, that might be a reason you haven't seen it. I said I was going to show my age.
Yeah. Vin Diesel.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's a name I recognize.
Yep.
Tokyo Drift is in this movie. That's about all I really know about it, is it has Vin Diesel in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
It's the enduring legacy of that song.
You go on a... I could go on a whole barn burner here with movies you haven't seen this.
If you've ever seen the Spotify like top 10 Japanese songs charts, they have one. Tokyo Drift is still in the top 10 like every week. Looking back, rolling here on lap 56, 25 to go. I'm gonna hope nobody Tokyo drifts so we can get some green flag racing in. How about you?
Yeah, and I think right now we're in that weird spot with all the different tire sets out here. You've got Whitley, Hubbard, Thornton on 23-lap old tires. You've got Foghire, who's trying to repair damage on the 03. Through these cars that are damaged, 13 laps in the stint. Reed Smith came down and got 4 fresh ones. So there's a mix of different strategies here. I think that's going to continue to produce what we've seen, caution after caution.
Yeah, we're going to hope to get some green flag running in. I think a lot of these cars up front, especially the drivers on those newer tires like Jake Ham, definitely want to get some green flag racing in so they can pursue Mark Whitley and Peyton Hubbard up here at the front of the field. We're green in the extreme scoring restart zone. It's another good jump there for Mark Whitley.
You can get back out there. There's plenty of positions to be gained, plenty of laps left here. Play till the whistle. That's how you're going to treat this one.
Never give up, never surrender. Hayden Mir, who is sitting 6 laps down on the racetrack, now 7 laps down. A lot of damage on that 84 car, and we'll see if he can make it back out. With all the cautions, you might get some time to, and you might get to pass some of these cars in front of you who are also out of the race. Is the 99 of Brandon Wallace, who looks up on the outside of the 80 of Kevin Price. He'll make that move look very easy there in that 99 car. He did, in fact, just come down pit road on that last caution, so he is very fresh tires on that 99. First car who came down pit road, Skylar Daly did it with him. So did Corinne Smith, Tyler Clemis. So a couple of the AM drivers along with Brandon Wallace. making that pit decision. If we do get some green flag laps, it could end up working out pretty well for him here, and they could make some hay up through this field. Although Wallace is going to send it 3 wide back here with Thaddeus Friel and Daniel Parks. We'll see if this works out. He's got Kevin Price in there as well. Friel doesn't really know where to go. He's trapped in the middle of a 3 wide he doesn't want to be in, and he's going to back out just to find himself in another 3 wide with Noah Hogard and Kevin Price.
It's not done.
Nope, Skylar Daly also on those new tires to try to drive his way through on the inside.
Wow.
Tyler Clevis as well in the same boat, trying to make their way up through the field. Brandon Wallace is leaving this whole melee behind. It's still Thaddeus Friel and Kevin Price, and the caution will fly. We have the 25 of Joshua Thornton around. He was running 3rd at the time.
Thornton had just had a close call with the wall in 4 that last time around.
And this is
venture to say it's similar.
Well, this is going to be an EOL for Jake Ham, I think. It's Jake Ham, who's running in 4th on pretty new tires. I would not be surprised if he gets an incident responsibility EOL here and is out of contention for the win, despite leading much of the first half of this race. You'll see it right here. Jake Ham to the inside, makes that contact with Thornton, and then Thornton tries to save it, and then David Calvert gets into him for round 2. We'll see who ends up getting that one. It's either going to be Jake Ham or David Calvert.
I mean, Jake Ham straightened him back out. I mean, he made a mistake and dove to the inside, but he courteous puts him back straight. This is where it goes wrong.
Yeah, that's where the round 2 came into that.
Pin that on anyone now because Calvert hit him after the fact.
We'll see.
That's. You're asking me to make that call. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, no, this is why I'm up in the broadcast booth and not in the race control booth.
Absolutely.
I did 1 race of race control, accidentally gave a guy a 4-lap black flag, and never have I done it again.
Yeah. Well, I hear about admin box a lot. Maybe invest in one of those. At the very least, get some buttons on the stream deck. But I know those guys are so underappreciated. And they have to be. They become the punching bag every time they issue a penalty, but it's a thankless job because you're always on the side of, I have to make a judgment call. We'd like to thank everybody in race control, in West and East. They're full right now. We've got 5 names in East right now with McColgan and Shirley, Libke, Joseph, Burke. They're all in there watching. And then you have Bergen, Malgoza, and Nolan's up there. Green Smith is up there in race comms West, and I think a lot of these guys that are in the admin booth go underappreciated.
We'd also like to thank another one of our partners at Goat Locker Racing as we're under this caution. That is Save 22. Save 22 is a 501c3 organization dedicated to preventing suicide among veterans, active duty personnel, and first responders. Save 22's unwavering mission extends to 4 critical pillars: shield, assist, volunteer, and educate, or save. And they've always been a partner of Goat Locker Racing. They've been around here for at least as long as I have been around here. So thank you to Save 22 for your continued support and the sponsorship of the Friday Truck Series as well. They're the title sponsor over there.
Series has been very eventful lately as well.
I've done it in the past. It was always a pretty good time. Next caution, I think we try to pull somebody in the booth here. We got options to get maybe Jake Ellingson up here.
Jake Ellingson still on the racetrack?
He is. He's actually running 6th at the moment. I know. He's had some
what?
awful luck the last few weeks. If you could wreck, he's found a way to do it. But he is still in here. He's still running 6th. And knowing how his season has gone now that we're talking about him, he's probably going to wreck on this next caution. But
you did this.
We'll hope it doesn't happen. I will anticipate the angry DM I will get later if it does happen. But we hope it does not happen. We hope Jake Ellingson is able to finally grab a good finish from a race tonight. As we get ready to get back rolling, Mark Whitley, Peyton Hubbard back into the extreme scoring restart zone and back green once again at Dover.
Big jump there. Peyton Hubbard's going to dive to the inside, protect that bottom. The fight for the AM class lead has settled itself out by about a 7-8 car difference. Daniel Parks in the 71 has found his way to the second position, but it's a cluster in front of him.
Oh yeah, it is a brawl going on up here as Jake Ellingson is trying to navigate while Sean Kaiser, Brennan McDonald getting in it back here. We're watching Daniel Parks, who's kind of right behind all of this action unfolding in front of him. See how concentrated he is as that 99 car. Brandon Wallace gets around him there for P9 on the racetrack.
Big checkup.
Look at all these cars fanning out there. That was Jake Ellingson in front of this 99 of Brandon Wallace. Woo boy, we're getting into it back here. Now he's got Tyler Clemis up his outside. No break.
Off that brow. That was a close call.
No brakes at all for these cars. They are just having to go at it lap after lap after lap. Brandon Wallace still trying to carve through the field on newer tires than the drivers in front of him, but he can't do it. Trevor Dyer way out of shape. He's going to bang it off the outside wall. Brandon Wallace has to drop down a little bit to avoid any sort of contact there. Now it's Kaiser. Now it's Schomburg working 4th and 5th on the racetrack respectively. They're side by side for that position. By the way, it was Jake Ham given the EOL there. That's why he's not up here anymore.
Noted on that, and the initial contact, I guess I can agree with that call 100%. It was the initial reason for the incident. Side by side here. How about this recovery? Sean Kaiser is going to the inside for 4th position. Pressure tires on the 46. He's been in and out of this strategy, but now even with the top 10.
Brennan McDonald in the 092 running up there on the outside lane. He'll dink it off the wall, and it's going to be Jake Ellingson cruising right behind that 092 car, trying to get something to go, trying to follow whichever car is going to be the faster one around here as he looks to get himself inside the top 5. By the way, shout out J.R. Schomburg. We've talked about him a couple times tonight, running up in 4th. He's been, big moment back there. He's been in the top 5 for much of this race. Started back in 18th. He's moving. Oh, Trevor Dyer into the back of Jake Ellingson. Jake, I'm so sorry. Hey, he saved it, though.
Yeah, it's not damaged. It's still got a car.
Nope. It's going to be Trevor Dyer who's going to ultimately end up getting the worst of that. I don't think anyone actually went around there. Oh, iRacing threw the caution because it thought someone was going to wreck. No one actually did. Look at that. Beautiful.
64 is going to get. That's similar to what we saw a moment ago with Ham, so I would not be surprised if the 64 gets a penalty for that one.
And we'll see. I see why the caution did come out. Jake Ellingson was more than 90 degrees sideways when Sean Kaiser went through down there on the inside. There you go. That was what brought out the caution. What a save by both of those cars, really. And yeah, I would have to imagine this would be on Trevor Dyer. We'll see. We'll see.
Well, you said you wanted to pull him up. You sure you still want to do that?
I'm gonna make sure he's okay to come up here before I pull him up. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, we got Jake Ellingson. He's ready to talk. I'm gonna pull him up in the booth right now. Jake, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. That was a bit of a scary one there, but you made it out of it intact. How about it?
It is what it is. I mean, kind of got already committed into the corner, and, it is what it is, but, at least we kept it intact, kept the car going, forward and not backward or into the wall or anything, so just try to get to the best finish we can in the next, 9 laps.
You've been having a pretty good race today. You started third. You've been up front for much of this one. What's the strategy going to be to get yourself a good top 5 finish here?
Just keeping it in one piece. Yeah, that's pretty much, the secret for tonight, Not much we can do with the cautions. I mean, during practice, I felt like we had a, great long run car, and, it's kind of unfortunate that we had a bunch of cautions tonight, and, yeah, so we're just going to try to keep this car in one piece and make it to the end.
All right, thank you so much for talking with us, Jake. We'll send you back down. Good luck.
All right, thank you very much.
That was Jake Ellingson up here in the booth with us. He's running back in 9th right now, barely avoiding that accident. He's got a couple cars in front of him here, like Tyler Clements, Brandon Wallace. He'll try to make his way through them and get back up to the top 5, and it will be an EOL going to Trevor Dyer for that accident. So after pretty much a whole race spent in the top 10 for that 64 car, he will go to the back of the field with 8 laps to go. That's not really any time for him to recover.
That is consistent with what race control did with J-Camp, so as long as they're consistent, whether you agree or disagree, if it's consistent there, I know it's going to create a situation, though, with some drivers that are coming down pit road, have fresher tires, are going to try to race their way back into this top 10. I don't think we've seen the end of the cautions here, Sky.
Well, we will see. I think one driver who hopes we have seen the end of the cautions is the 99 of Brandon Wallace, because he sits there in P7. He is still on fresher tires than anyone else in front of him by 12 laps to the cars 3rd through 6th, and by 22 laps to the top 2 up front. So he wants this race to go green. He wants to be able to use that rubber advantage he has to try to fight his way up into the top 5 or even the top 3 here if he's able to get that done with 7 laps to go. But it's your 2 cars on 41 lap old tires, 1 and 2. It's Mark Whitley, it's Peyton Hubbard, and we'll get back green here at Dover. Mark Whitley with an amazing jump. Peyton Hubbard did not get going at all. He'll be immediately under threat from David Calbert, leader of the AM class for P2. He's had an amazing night, hasn't he?
Been up front the first third of this race, cycled through with all the strategy, was able to get back up front, played it to a T. Brandon Wallace, you mentioned there on that restart, did not get it going. Even with the fresh tires, now's the car to his right-hand side, and they're looking 3 wide. Ellingson to the bottom.
Whoa, we're getting some moves done big time back here. Wallace has kind of muscled that car up into the top 5. He's going to be looking ahead towards McDonald and Calbert there if we can stay green, as this is going to be McDonald down to the inside of Calbert now. Calbert with a bad corner. That'll drop him back to P4. If McDonald's able to pounce it, Calbert will slap the wall hard. That'll put him way back to 4th. Might even put him back to 5th here, because that 99 car is going to pounce for that 4th position. This is going to drop that 41 back closer to the clutches of Tyler Clements. Could get a battle here for the AM lead by the end of this one with 5 to go.
Let these guys go through the 41. You've got plenty of cushion back here to Clements. I know the 311 has been bouncing the wall. He's having the same problem that the 41's having. I don't think you push this car. You got to let these guys go.
Levis is on slightly better tires by about 10 laps in comparison to Calvert. He's on that Wallace strategy. It's working out for that 99 car. As Wallace tries to put that 41 down, he knows he's got to fight because Clements is getting really close to that rear bumper. Jake Ellingson trying to make his way back through, but he's stuck behind this side-by-side duel. As these two continue to race, it's kind of checking up. Everybody behind him. The caution will fly with 3 to go. Somebody's around. It's going to be an admin-thrown caution, so we'll try to figure out where it came from. Maybe Chuck Feltz here?
Smoke, but I don't know where it came from. Jake Ham?
I'm looking around here. I'm doing some detectiving. I found the moment of caution. We're going to go around the racetrack and we're going to see if anyone was around. I'm seeing the same smoke you are. I'm going to ask our race control because I quite honestly do not know. We'll see. I don't got anything. I'll be honest with you. I see the smoke you're pointing out. Oh, Paul Shaw. This is going to be Paul Shaw around in the 025. Contact with Trevor Dyer.
We'll back it up one more time.
This was, they both saved it, so they got away, but this is going to be Paul Shaw coming up into Trevor Dyer. They get it back going, but the admins had thrown the caution while they were getting back going. And that will be the cause of caution there.
And guess where that takes us, Sky?
Overtime.
2 green-white checkered attempts here this evening. Now, they were crazy before. Now let's put them into a 2 lap to go scenario on repeat for they run this thing out. So 80 laps wasn't enough. We're going to extend this race to 83.
And that is going to produce even more chaos.
Miles looking for dessert at this point.
Yeah, good point.
I like where Whitley is right now. Peyton Hubbard fell a full second behind there on that stint. Albert, I'm worried about. For the AM class lead, gonna have Clemens, Thornton, a lot of fresher tires, Thaddeus Friel, a lot of AM drivers that have the potential to end up snagging this lead away from the 41. And I think the 41's proven that he has the speed to win here. So with this caution and this reset, he was holding off a lot of pro drivers, trying his best to keep the 99, the 27 at bay, and keep that cushion. But with this restart, I think that kind of undoes it for him.
That 99 car is about to start driving like a crazy person because he knows he's got the better tires. He knows the cars in front of him on that front row. 22 lap older tires. He is going to try to push it. I don't think we're going to have a fuel concern here, but I feel like I am required to mention it because these top two have gone 50 laps on a tank of gas and we only had 65% fuel to begin with today. I don't think it's a problem. I'm going to assume it's not a problem, but maybe if we have a second overtime, we could
If you're
start discussing it.
Yeah, if you're careless and don't save, I think it would be a problem. But you know, Whitley, Hubbard, these guys have been up here before.
Yeah.
I think we'll be okay.
Required to mention it. Don't think it's going to actually play a role in the finish of this one. As McDonald and Wallace will get ready to go side by side here on row 2. They're going to be the drivers who are going to be feisty, looking to snag this one away as they both have fresher tires than these two cars on the front row who have held a monopoly up front for much of this race. We will come out of the corner. We'll hit the extreme scoring restart zone, and it's another great jump for Whitley as we're green at Dover with 2 to go.
Green-white checkered attempt number 1 into overtime with Whitley, Hubbard, McDonald, the top 3. 41 of David Calvert holding it down. He's side by side with Brandon Wallace coming off of 2. 3 wide behind him.
Mark Whitley absolutely checked out up there at the front of the field. He'll take the glove station white flag, and he will be well clear as the battle rages behind him. David Calvert holding on to that AM lead right now by just a bit. Joshua Thornton is going to wreck himself off the nose of Tyler Clemis, and that will seal that AM lead for the 41 car of Calvert. As we make our way onto the back straightaway, they're battling for third. It's McDonald and Wallace, but up at the front of this field. Well, Wallace is going to get into the side of McDonald. They're going to all wreck behind him. Calvert's going to survive. Oh, here comes Clemis. Battle for the AM lead. They're going to go door to door for that, and Tyler Clemis is going to steal it as Mark Whitley wins overall. No, Calvert's going to get it. Clemis got wrecked. Whoa.
100th of a second.
We need another replay on that. That was unreal. I called Clemis on that. He was about a car length ahead, and he just couldn't bring it to the line. Oh my goodness. That was mental, let me tell you. You're going to see the 41. He's going to get ran into by Clemis. They're going to go door to door. Clemis has the advantage, but he smacks the inside wall, and Calvert gets him by 100th of a second. Man, that was so close. Our scoring tower was showing Clemis for a second. Look at that.
Trying to find my best angle that I can here. That's as close as it gets. I don't even know if Tower 1, Tower 2 maybe could show us. Wow.
Yeah. Whoa.
And this starts with Brandon Wallace in the 99. He has those fresher tires. He's trying to get by some of these guys. He's finally Thornton in the background there, got turned around. Watch here into 3. The 092 across the nose. Brandon Wallace looking for position. And Jake Ellingson makes it through that. How about that?
I was all ready to call Mark Whitley winning that race, and then it all went down for that AM lead. Oh my goodness. Does not get any crazier than that, let me tell you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll have results and interviews with your winners in just a moment. Stay tuned.
Superior quality, ultimate protection, and the highest level of craftsmanship. We make our gloves for the hard worker that wakes up every morning and gives 110%. You deserve the highest quality protective gear that's going to work for you, day in, day out. We know it can be tough deciding what companies to trust for your hard-earned money. It's all in our name. We've mastered our craft to help you master yours. We make our gloves rugged, durable, and designed for you. Whatever the job is, we have you covered. We are your glove station.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
We are back here in the Goat Locker Racing Alexander PC's ARCA West Series, and we're going to take a look at your finishing results here before interviews with our top few cars. Race winner tonight was Mark Whitley, and in the pro class, finishing behind him, you have Peyton Hubbard, Jake Ellingson, Sean Kaiser, Brandon Wallace. That is J.R. Schomber, Trevor Dyer, Brennan McDonald, and Jake Ham. Unfortunately, your pole sitter does not finish tonight.
David Calvert by 1/100th of a second. We watched that finish on repeat. Tyler Clemens just missed it there. Couldn't get the car off the inside wall. Photo finish there across the line of Monster Mile. Danny Esfrio Jr., the Dale impersonator, is going to get a top three. Then you have the 642 of Gene Wolfe finishing in fourth spot in the M class. Kevin Price, Noah Hogar, Kareem Smith. Then you have Paul Shaw, Daniel Parks, and Alan Bergen rounding out your top 10.
Finishing back from there in the AM class, you've got the 22 of Skylar Daly, the 033 of Vernon Liebenthal, Armando Melgoza, Joshua Thornton, your last two cars on the lead lap. Back from there, it's Chuck Phelps, Ashton Acero Nolan, Chris Bargetzi, Brian Frauheiger, Dave Calvert Sr., Bobby Bender, Hayden Meir, Nick Trussell, Nicholas Myers, Brock Price, and Joshua Unger did not take the green flag tonight. We're going to get interviews with your winners here from ARCA East, or ARCA West, excuse me. We're also going to catch up with Joseph McWhorter from ARCA East, and I'm going to try to pull Samuel Yosef, who was our AM winner in ARCA East, in here if I can. First, we will talk to Mark Whitley, winner of the ARCA West race tonight. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Got the win there. You played some pitch strategy to get that car up front. Walk me through that.
Yeah, I didn't get a lot of practice, so I didn't qualify as good as I wanted to. I knew the way this car is and this track, dirty air was going to be even more of a factor than it normally is. And, made a couple spots up there during the green flag, pitted under, I think, one of the early cautions trying to play a little strategy to jump some spots, got involved in a wreck. I told although kind of in hindsight, getting in that wreck kind of worked out in our favor because I was able to pit on, I think, 40 or 35 or something, right where we could make it to the end of the race, and got the fresh tires, and I think it went green for 5-6 laps after that, and we, everybody else in front of us pit, so it just kind of gave us the lead. And the way the race was going, I just knew it was going to be, a lot of short runs. And generally speaking, with the current tire model, once you cool the tires down, you have 3, 4, 5 laps that, even if they're worn out, they're still pretty decent. So I felt pretty good about it, and I was a little worried. I think with about 10 or 15 to go when we got that caution, Brantley was saying we should maybe pit. I just knew I didn't want to risk it, so I just stayed out, and thankfully everybody else stayed out too. And after that, it was just about hitting my marks on the restart, make sure I didn't spin the tires, and just try to hit my marks and get back to the white flag. Especially on that last restart, I was trying to haul, make sure we didn't have to go through another restart.
Yeah, I mean, this is second time I'm talking to you here in about 24 hours after your win last night as well. How's it feel to get both of those in a weekend?
It feels pretty good. Tonight was nowhere near like last night was. I felt way more comfortable, confident, and tonight I just kind of felt like we, strategized our way to P1, and I feel pretty confident in my ability. If I can get to the lead, I'm really good in clean air and just manipulating the air behind me. So I thought we had a decent chance. I just wasn't sure because, like I said, I didn't get a lot of practice. So I wasn't sure how we were going to be once the tires wore a little bit. But thankfully, it seemed like Peyton kind of fell back a little bit, and we just had to sit there and hit our marks. And, I probably wasn't the fastest guy out here, but, strategy sometimes pays off.
All right. Who do you have to thank tonight, Mark?
First, all the league sponsors here. Without them, we wouldn't be here. Lincoln Tech, Save 22, the Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, InVets, ATYL, Alexander's PCs. Just all the guys to make this league possible. My personal sponsors, Harpoon Design, Brantley over there. He does amazing paint jobs. My best painter on iRacing, in my opinion. Go check him out, harpoondesign.com. And then speaking of best of, Jawa.gg, they're the best gaming marketplace out there. They got great deals right now with all the craziness going on in the PC gaming space. If you need an upgrade or a new PC, they got you covered over there. And you guys putting on a great broadcast. I always love to go back and watch just to see how the rest of the race played out for everybody else. Everybody tuning in these broadcasted races, I appreciate them. And then big shout out to my teammate Christian. He's having some family issues right now. Hope, sending all the love to him. Hopefully this maybe put a smile on his face, getting the Harpoon Design team in the victory lane.
All right, congrats on the win tonight, Mark Whitley.
Thank you.
And we're now going to send it over to Bradley Cooper, who is going to be standing by with our AM winner for tonight. That is David Calvert in ARCA West.
Calvert, usually the best way to win one of these races is to have the nose of the car pointed towards the start-finish line, but that wasn't the case here tonight. The chaos that came out of turn 4. Did you think you were the winner when you crossed the line there?
I didn't know what happened. That was all of a sudden like we're kind of spinning sideways, and then next thing I know, I'm like being shoved forward across the line. I actually sped up, so I guess whoever hit me from behind, it probably pushed me a little bit more forward. Yeah, that was kind of a wild end. I had to go back and rewatch it because I wasn't really sure what happened.
1/100th of a second there. Very, very close finish. And you had some pro drivers in front of you that seemed to be disgruntled with their fresher tires. You were actually using them as a cushion there before this green-white checkered restart. Talk to us a little bit about how that race would have ended up had it stayed green.
So that when we went to that, we had that little green flag run. It was like 7 or so to go. I was doing good, and then when we restarted, I popped the wall pretty hard, and I got a few surprises when I went in the corner. I just didn't really want to turn, so I started kind of falling back. Didn't really know what was going to happen, but then it came out again, and then just all hell broke loose. I wasn't trying to lean on anybody. It just got to where it wasn't turning. I had damage.
Well, it looked like it was a handful, but in the first third of the race, you did a fantastic job. You proved that you had the speed to be up front and lead the AM class. In fact, you were running second position overall for a lot of that first third of the race, but the strategy just kept flipping on its head. Good job getting back up here.
Yeah, sure. It was either way. It's fun. I kind of, it's once it kind of gotten some green flag runs, you're able to kind of get in the groove, and it things went a lot smoother. But the constant restarts, it's just everybody's just fighting for anything right off the bat, and you got to take it when you can get it, I guess. But hopefully, we'll get some more green flag runs as the season goes on.
Well, we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. And I know that it's not exactly the fashion you want to win one of these things, but when it's lightning like that and you still have to go back and watch a replay, it probably still feels pretty good. Anybody you want to thank?
A win's a win either way, right?
Exactly. Intro or mile.
Yep. Well, first, I want to thank Jesus. He saved my life, and I got to give him the credit first and foremost for anybody. And then Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Department of Indiana Veterans Affairs, InVets, ATYL, you guys in the booth. I mean, the broadcast, man, they're really enjoyable to even go back and rewatch. And everybody we race against, all the competitors, for the most part, everybody tries to run clean and they do a good job. It's just sometimes some bad situations, and nobody wants to lift. So, but it'll get cleaned up. But I love racing with everybody. It's a great time, and couldn't be happier.
David Calvert, winner in the AM class here at Dover. We'll see you in 7 days when we go to Gateway.
All right. Thanks, sir. Have a good night.
There you have it. Sky Shrek. We're catching up with some drivers from the ARCA East, and I know you have two drivers here as an opportunity. I believe we're going to pull up Joseph McWhorter first.
Yeah, we're going to bring up McWhorter into the booth. Hey, Joseph, how you doing? Joseph McWhorter, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Winner of the ARCA East race tonight. I know we weren't able to watch that one, but how's it feel?
Oh, it feels good. Man, we took off there at the beginning of the race. We timed the green flag drop really well, and was able to get that lead real fast. Then it was just all about trying to manage tires. We had some really long runs over on our side. I was trying to run as close to about 75% like pace wise as I could, and keep the guys behind me. But we ended up pretty much nailing the strategy. We had green flag runs pretty much the entire race. So it was pretty simple on the strategy, and just executed all night on and off pit road.
All right, who do you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Outlier Speed Co. Johnny and the boys have been building some amazing cars, so go check them out at outlierspeedco.com. Red Camel Racing, check them out at redcamelracing.com. Amazing partner. Anything you need for a race weekend, go check them out. It's redcamelracing.com. You guys for the broadcast every week. Bradley, good to see you. You guys do an amazing job as always. All the drivers, all the admins, and ready to get into next week.
All right, congrats on the ARCA East win, Joseph McWhorter.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
And we are also now going to pull in Samuel Yosef, who was the AM winner over in that race. Samuel, how you doing?
Hey, Sky, what's going on?
Wasn't able to broadcast that ARCA East race, but you grabbed the AM win. How's it feel?
Great. Didn't really get that much practice. I was cooking dinner before the race, so I got like 15 minutes of practice, but I kind of figured out the correct groove with the temps that we had. We had a great green flag run, and I really thought I was going to be able to save fuel up into the end, but we had a couple cautions, but great race overall. Everybody was great out there. Yeah.
Who do you have to thank tonight?
Yeah, I got to thank Lincoln Tech, Save 22, Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, InVets, ATYL, and Alexander PCs. And I definitely want to give a shout out to Austin McGoyle in our race. He was a pro driver. He definitely helped me out a lot tonight. So shout out to Austin.
All right, congrats on the AM class win over in ARCA East, Samuel Yosef.
Thanks.
And that will be the end of our coverage here tonight from Dover. Next week, though, we move on and we head over to Gateway. How you feeling about that one, Bradley?
I'm feeling like we're going to see more of the same. It's a track that's very demanding, very flat. It's the hybrid. We talked about it there last week in the truck series. It's a track that if you aren't prepared for, absolutely.
we will see what happens next week at Gateway. We'll hope to get the ARCA East broadcast back up for you, but again, personal stuff going on, no promises over there. We'll try to get it done for you, though. Thank you so much for watching tonight on V-Speed, and for everybody at Goat Locker Racing and at V-Speed. Once again, thank you so much. We'll see you same time, same place next week. Have a great night.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Thank you.